How's it going, everybody? Kyle here. Just wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit and talk to you guys one-on-one real quick before this upload starts. There is going to be many times throughout this production, start to finish, you're going to hear us talking about the doubleheader, as that's what we planned when we recorded this. As you may have seen in the posts on my channel, we're not going to be doing the doubleheader today. This GPU is much slower, and I didn't account for that when I scheduled this. So instead, in order to give Trash and the Cup finales the proper time to digest and appreciate those races, the bird says hello, by the way. Instead, today, we're going to just be having the Orange County race. I hope you all understand. We're going to be doing the Charlotte finale race for the KYROC series this Saturday. It's going to be actually at noon, so it'll be a perfect little lead-in for the ARCA race for those who actually watch NASCAR. Still blows my mind that people that don't watch NASCAR watch TOECAR, but hey, I'm happy you're here. Buckle up, because today we got a great race. I'm excited. The bird's excited. Let's get things underway. Future me, roll that disclaimer. The drivers, characters, and events in TOECAR are fictional. Nobody was harmed in the filming of this production. So sit back and enjoy the race. Welcome to KYROC, race number 5 here at the Orange County Fair Speedway, where today we have quite a lot on the agenda. You see some different looking cars out there. We'll get to that in a second here. I'm Kyle, your host. I'm joined by Mike. I'm joined by the safety bird, who's probably not going to say too much, but is in the booth with us today nonetheless. Fantastic team to bring the action from here from Orange County directly to you. Race number 1 of 2 today. We're going to be crowning a champion tonight. Race number 2 of the night at Charlotte. Going to start at 10 p.m. later this evening after Cup qualifying. And we're in for a treat at both of these tracks, Mike. This track, Orange County, of course, raced here in real life. I absolutely love this place. I think it puts on a show, and I'm even excited for some of these faces we're going to see here. As we take a look at some of those people, there's somebody right there.
Yep, there's Harry Gland's one of my favorites. But Kyle, I am so happy to be back here at Orange County. Last time we were here, it was a spectacle. It was our first time on dirt, and the drivers, they showed that they are not used to the dirt. They love the pavement, and when you get the grip taken away, things go haywire. We got a lot of people out here, a lot of people that have never driven in KYROC before ever, so a new chassis to drive. Like this guy right here, the Wolverine, he's been in one race before. I think it was Indianapolis, so this is a complete change of pace for him. So it's going to be a very interesting race. A lot of room on the racetrack. You can go up on the berm if you want. You can go down on that inside. You can drive into the pit wall if you want. It's a beautiful racetrack, and I'm happy to be back here, Kyle.
Well, you said it, and honestly, there's a lot of moving parts. First and foremost, let's address the obvious for anybody that might not have saw. Yes, none of these drivers are your usual KYROC regulars. Well, that's because we are about to have an LCQ race, and the format is pretty simple, folks. If you are in the top 3 finishers of this LCQ, you are going to make the actual KYROC race here. We had so many extra cars, unfortunately, Bill Landlines lost his life very early on into his KYROC career, let's say, so that left a few extra chassis. And then on top of that, we've just been keeping a lot of cars clean. We've had a couple wrecks along the way, but a lot of these races, at least by TOECAR standards, we're tearing a lot less shit up than usual, Mike.
KYROC's definitely the cleaner of the 3 series we have in TOECAR, but, these are probably the most experienced drivers because they all are winners in some capacity, but, like I said earlier, once you get on the dirt, everything goes out the window, so I'm excited for the race.
No doubt, and that clean driving's also given us a few other differences this week. Let's take a look at this week's injury report. Well, taking a look at our injury report here, first and foremost, Neil Anderthal discovered lightning post-race, headed back home after the event. His car actually got struck by lightning. Neil, totally fine, definitely shaken up, didn't know what happened. You gotta imagine how scary that must be for somebody that doesn't really know what lightning is. Then up next, Stephen Gaslight. After his workout today, happy to report he is completely healthy. Great news for Stephen Gaslight. He'll be able to drive just fine. And news to see on the bottom of the injury report. Braden Bunch out after being deceased since Season 3. It's been quite a while. Still hasn't healed up, Mike. Not good at all. Well, that's going to set the stage for everything that follows tonight. This LCQ about to get underway, folks. Orange County, KYROC, TOECAR.
Woo! Yummy.
All right, well, not going to go through the starting grid. We just simply don't have the time, folks. But take a look at your screen right about now. There are all the drivers going for this LCQ race. The bird's stoked. I'm stoked. The top 3 finishers out of all these drivers going to find their way into the main feature tonight. The odds are not in their favor, but it should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All these cars are going to be packed up. Just 15 laps going to be here. It's going to be a very short race, but it just means it's that much more pressure. That might be good for air pressure, but he's going to have to floor it right here. They're going to bring it down between the shoes, and they are green.
That 56 car shot out of a cannon down into turn 1. Small Dwayne, a big lead. Cigarello trying to follow him through.
Justin Tallgaier, he's up here. I'm surprised, Kyle, that he fits in the race car. These KYROC cars, they're a lot shorter than the other cars we run in TOECAR, so I'm surprised he's actually fitting under the roof and the thing's sealed up. Because if he has to cut the roof off, it's going to hurt his aerodynamics.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, actually. Using some of that portal technology we've seen many a time here in TOECAR. I'm told his upper half is actually not even at the racetrack. However, his legs, using all the pedals to get that car around this facility. I have no idea how he's steering. Might be doing that with his knees, Mike. No clue, though.
With as tall as he is, it might have to be the hips. But check this out. Brad Oman on the bottom going 3 wide. That's always a precursor to terror right there. As Harry Glantz, he holds on to the middle. Holy shit.
Yeah, he changed his name. No more I. Also shaved his head completely, as you can see by that illustrious photo there. Really looking right at your soul.
No more I in the name, but he's definitely got bags under the ones on his face.
There goes that 18 car. You brought him up in practice. The Wolverine only won a race ever in TOECAR. I haven't fact-checked this, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure everybody else in the field today has at least done 2 or 3 races.
I think Small Dwayne is the only other one. I think he has that one start back at Trenton, so might be a big day for him. You know, I'm not sure how much he's driven of anything before. You know, he came into TOECAR, he saw what happened to the Lean Goblin, hopped in that car, and luckily got out of it before he was killed, so good for him. But check it out. Got to run up here for second. We got who is that?
I believe that's Timothy Cigarello in the 89 car. You have to forgive us, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't seen these cars at all until about 20 minutes ago when we got to the track, so brand new for everybody. And right now, that 89 car, it is not paid off. He's actually lost the spots, as you pointed him out, Mike. Commentator's jinx.
Yeah, it's not working out too good for him. But LeBron Kitis, he's going up the middle here. He had a surprise start, and yeah.
Something. He's definitely raced something this season, so I think it might have been the Plot 55 car in the Cup Series. Nonetheless,
no,
though,
that's this week. No, he ran the 47 last week.
You're right, actually. For Shaquille O'Neal at CRI, I forgot about that. Getting in for the injured driver there. And it didn't work out at all. Shaquille O'Neal very eliminated afterwards, so
Absolutely, but I'm really impressed with Timothy Cigarello up here. He's done a lot of work with Dick Shitfart up in the Cup Series to show him how to drive a race car. You know, Dick was gifted that with a silver spoon to get up into that ride, and Timothy probably a more deserving driver, as we see up here. We've seen some of his driving talent rub off on Dick this season, but he's definitely showing himself right here. Look, he's going 3 wide for the lead of the Wolverine, doesn't turn Tallgaier.
Yeah, and Tallgaier's been an absolute force today. He started a little further to the back. Right now, using up that 18 car, doing whatever he can to get up to the lead. Look at this shot. Look at all the dust they kick up off the corner. And look how locked in that official is.
Yeah, Pennant up there, he's got to be terrified. The flag stand here at Orange County, it is shorter and lower to the racetrack than anywhere else on the schedule. He is in more danger than ever.
And these guys are bricked up. They're 2x3 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 1. Right now, who's that, the 96? That can't be. He's already in the main race. That's
They're about to
Cigarello.
go 4 wide. Oh.
Cigarello out into the lead. So, you know, bouncing back after a rough lap or two there. Brad Oman making his way to the front. This is the last thing these guys want to see.
Now look at the back there. We got little Asiago. He's in the race. That's a sight. You know, this man, he wants to retire, I'm pretty sure, but every time he gets called up, he's like, fine, I guess. And,
Oh!
There they go. They're not gonna save it. The 12s they did. Wow.
I wouldn't say that so far. They're 4 wide into turn 1. These guys are all over
right.
each other.
This is where it widens out. They got the room.
Oh!
Tommen in the wall again. They're gonna save it again.
Asiago, you just pointed him out in his natural habitat. Dead fucking last. I'm going to get a little piece of that, but keep it going the right way. That 12 car's been getting absolutely bullied. Here's another group that's 3 wide. They're making contact.
That 7 car, it is a magnet for the other race cars on the racetrack. No matter who's near them, they just touch and lock doors, and it's usually going to end with someone on the wall. It's going to be the 18 this time. Yeah.
Oh, and they're still in the wall. Into
They're
3.
going to keep doing it. He's going to get on his wheels, or the 2 wheels, that is.
He's living up to his name. He's wall riding.
Check
So
it
is
out.
Tallgaier.
You can't do that.
I think it's
I
legal
think it
on
might be
every
legal.
lap.
Thank God we don't have rules.
Rules very
Air
made up
pressure.
here in TOECAR. And Aaron Pressure, yeah, right on the outskirts of making that. He's in P4 right now, folks. 1 spot behind LeBron Kitis. If he can just get past that 6 car, he's going to be in the feature.
He's going to have to make sure he doesn't drink any of that lemonade, because I tried that before the race, and I have not stopped pissing since.
Yeah, and it's always
What
such a
is it?
weird color. The bird had it for a bath earlier today. He didn't even think he was clean afterwards, so there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. We'll unpack that later, though,
I can't
because
fly.
Brad Oman going for the lead, trying to win the LCQ race. This really kind of just for bragging rights. If both of these cars can stay up here, they're both going to be in the race.
Well, If they don't crash each other, that is, all he has to do is finish in the top 3, and he needs to not blow it by crashing him and the car on the outside. But that's not something Brad Oman's very good at. But if he can clear him off the corner, it might be possible. But he's going to look back on the inside here.
They're going to be side by side into 3. Not super duper consequential. The battle's all for 3rd, but there really isn't a battle. Side by side for the win. Brad Oman, I think. Let's take a look as Skyman comes in. Yep, Brad Oman, your winner of the LCQ. Timothy Ciccarello in 2nd, and LeBron Kiedis in 3rd. The 3 of them going to be joining us in the main event here in just about, I don't know, 5 seconds?
Bill, can we change this? No, damn. All right.
Taking a look at some of the action we saw here today, or at least so far. It's going to start with this 12 car pushing up into the wall. He's going to take that 56 small Dwayne with him. And these guys get hooked up the whole straightaway. You see all those cars in the back, bobbing and weaving, trying to miss it right underneath the feet of Pennant Waves. He really is pretty low to the ground here, huh? Only like about 5 feet up there, it feels like.
Yeah, and those drivers, they're lucky that wall is caked with dirt, because that lubes it up and allows him to keep on sliding without getting stuck in it. As we ride on board the 12 car here, we got a really good fisheye zoom so we can see everything that happens. It gets into that wall, and now we're looking out the back as we go flying down in the corner. That sticky wall doesn't matter.
And this is a little bit later off turn 2. Still involving that 12 car. Gets fucking walled by the Wolverine. Asiago nearly gets turned into the inside wall. Great save on his part. Still coming home P last, though, unfortunately.
Still a wheel, man. Doesn't matter. And then the Wolverine here, he's just trying to mind his own business and get back up to the top 3. But Tall Guy and Glands, they say, nah, you're getting in that sticky wall. It's a little bit stickier on the back because they actually wipe it down between the races. Ooh. But then they start wall riding there, lucky not to catch the end of that concrete, the Armco right there, and get absolutely ripped in half. But they are flying around on the cushion right here. My God.
God damn.
Every fucking week. Fuck, I hate my fucking job.
Oh,
Me
Jason.
too, Pennant. Oh, Jason. God
Somebody's upset. I don't actually know who it was. Starting grid, 55 car, Big Luke lifts on the pole with Herbert Walker Colato's outside. Jeff Gordummy and Bill Beef make up row number 2. Row 3, Andrew and Neil Anderthal. Row number 4, that's going to be the 50 of LW Wrong with Pekar Petty in the 69. Then, Corey Origami with Jake Joe to his side. Row 6, it's Can't See Anything with Chris Call in the 3 car. Row 7, that's going to be Down Under with Deddy McBetty. Behind that, row 8, Chris Cross, welcome back, and Preston the Wall alongside him. Row 9, Glucose Maxing and Chris the Catheter Keen. Rounding out our qualifiers, Buster Guts P goddamn last, and then Brad Oman first in the LCQ, Timothy Cigarello second, and LeBron Kiedis third. That makes up the grid. 60 laps on the agenda. They head off turn 4. They pass the Chone. And we're underway.
Boogity boogity.
Another day, another boggy. Down into turn 1 they go. Can't quite see who's out there. That's actually the 55 car. A great restart there. Going to clear that 24 by a good bit.
The 24 car, he's going to try to go down in there and just turn him. That's the best way to get the lead early on in this race is just to dump the leader. If you destroy the leader's car, they're going to have a hell of a time fighting back through the traffic for the rest of the race to get back up there. So that's always a strategy you can always take.
Neil Anderthal, the first car to have trouble today. Going to hit the wall a little bit there. A-OK, though, pointed it in the right direction. You see, can't see anything. The point leader right now heading up the inside, trying to make a pass. Right now, the points are very much up in the air, folks, because you can make up 50 points in 2 races here in KYROC. Right now, the point leader, that man in the 20, only has 43 total. So theoretically, if you earned 0 points today and you go on to race later at Charlotte and have a good result here today, you could walk out of here with the entire championship underneath you with having 0 points on the way into the next to last race. That is unfathomable in most motorsports. Jeff Gordummy going to clear that 55 car, take the lead. I think our first lead change of this race, potentially one of the first all night long.
It's going to be hard to worry about points while you're on this track, Kyle, because you're going around this racetrack going about 160 miles an hour or more, because these things they're flat fucking flying. But you're turning right while you go left. You're trying to hold on to the car. You got people that you're inside, you're outside, on top of you, underneath you. If you can calculate points while all that's going on, kudos to you. That's like counting cards while having somebody run a chainsaw next to your ear.
Well,
Man, they're getting... Look at the back there, Brad Oman.
Yeah, a fight of their lives back there, just trying to get as much track position as possible. As you'd imagine a track like this, track position is an absolute premium. Oh, the 65!
In the air.
Definitely got in the air. Climbed wheels on that 11. Chris the Catheter Keen going to keep that car mostly in one piece. Going to stay in front of the 11 at the very least. That 44 going to kiss the wall right there off turn 4 as well. Probably a common sight we're going to see. Speaking of sights we're going to see, let's take a look at a replay. We're on board the 11 car, already up way out of the groove, going to get into the wall. And there's the catheter. It's going to rub right on him.
He's lucky he didn't get into those big tractor tires on the outside, because that could have launched him outside the racetrack, and he probably could have ended up somewhere in Canada.
No kidding, Mike. An actual road right outside of that. We saw that on the opening shot of the broadcast. Very easy to send a car out there. It's been done before. But
It's actually one of those unlabeled roads that takes you straight into Canada and gets you seized by customs without any extra warning.
Many of those here in New York. However, before we have any calamity, whether it be that or an incident on track, I want to point out today's race format because it is a little bit different than usual. You see 60 laps on the agenda. That's what we're going to be running here today. However, this race is being split into thirds. 3 segments of 20 laps here at a dirt track. We know these tires are a little bit unpredictable. We've seen in practice, sometimes they just absolutely melt and cars end up hitting the wall no matter what they do. And I can't guarantee they're going to pit on these cautions, Mike, but I can guarantee that we are going to bunch them back up. And as each lap goes down, we are going to see these drivers get more and more aggressive.
Yeah, they might take these caution periods not as a time to get tires and fuel. They might get some fuel to get some more weight in the rear and get that spoiler out of the air. But they're just going to be taking that time and looking around the field. Who has wronged me in the last green flag run? They're making a list and they're checking it twice. And Jake Joe's putting Denny McBetty on that list. God damn.
And these guys are really hooked together, going down into one. This isn't good.
Let him up, man. Let's let him up.
They're still hitting each other.
And we're still green.
Well, nobody spun. Pennant gonna, I guess, let them get away with this one. We've seen a lot of that tonight. It seems like the car on the bottom pushes up so much. You really got to have that clear track if you want to get the run off the corner. And when these guys are side by side and don't realize it, that seems to always be the result.
And you can easily get unhooked if the car in the back just taps on the brakes to get unhooked. But, that will require slowing down and forfeiting position. And every position matters here. Everyone's a point, and it's all going to come down to the end here once we get to the end of the second race tonight.
Well, already 11 laps completed, starting lap number 12 now. Look at that view. Visibility.
That's a lot of fucking dirt.
Going to be a very, very moving target today with how much they're kicking up on corner exit. It's only certain parts of the track that are a little more dry. You see Corey Origami going to get up into it here. Probably, maybe not. Nope, there he is.
It looks like we had a brief rain shower in just turn 3, so that's good to know.
Well, nonetheless, these drivers so far haven't struggled too much with it. As we progress, that may or may not change. This guy should be pretty much immune to that. Can't see anything. Right now, right behind that 96 car. Going to pass him, actually, as the 96 gets up into the wall. 3 wide, though. I don't like the looks of that.
Oh, I do. The 55, he's running up through there, making the bottom of 3. That car certainly doesn't have more grip than anybody else. We wouldn't do that, but definitely has a better driver behind the wheel, depending on who you ask.
Well, it also depends on which big Luke it is. Season 1 before his injury, he was actually pretty solid. Not lighting the world on fire, but, if he was up in the top 10, top 15, wasn't the most unusual thing. However, Season 3, that was the exact opposite. That man was in P last every single week without fail. So far, so good.
That was an absolute waste of a spot.
Well, trying to make sure he's not a waste of a spot today. Up in the points right now, for those who maybe haven't watched as many KYROC races, the top 10 finishers are the only drivers who score points, uses the exact same point system as F1 does, minus the point for having the fastest lap, because we can't count here at TOECAR. That would absolutely end up going to the wrong person if we didn't pay enough attention. So we're just not going to be doing that. Right now, Andrew, very dominant. I think has led almost this entire race. I think took the lead relatively early. And there's another championship contender, Mike. Ernest Herbert Walker-Klott, that one car, the winner at Daytona on Christmas Day. Somebody who's very much in the conversation. Could find himself a champion here pretty soon. As is that 5-car Bill Beef. As is the 20-car of Can't See Anything. And that man in the 69-car, Pekar Petty. Those 4 drivers, plus maybe Down Under and a few others, seem to have a competitive advantage against their competition.
I still can't believe that Ernest won a race before Harold did. Harold has 20 years on him, or 20 years of youth on him. You would think that would prevail, but at 120 years old, Ernest Herbert Walker-Klott got that car to victory lane, so that is very impressive. Just goes to show you that talent runs in the Klott family. As Buster Guts back here showing the terrorism runs in the guts. But really hope that Ernest can come through here and maybe get the championship, and who knows, maybe his son Harold can end up winning the final race of the season here on Friday.
I wouldn't
cool.
I wouldn't put my money on it, Mike. Brad Holman.
I'd never do that.
About to pass that 89 car, Timothy Cigarello, 2 of our transfers in. As we draw towards the close of this first part of the race, we're going to have the caution come out sometime on lap 20, so these leaders, and everybody for that matter, can race back to the line. Timing and scoring will work just fine, and if they want to pit, they can pit. But I don't think we're going to see too much of that today. Once these tires cool, seems like they gain a lot more grip. So it's really a game of track position. We've said it a few times already. How are you going to find a way to the front of this field? Right now, Andrew doesn't have to worry about that. He is in the front of that field. Look at that 99 car out there, right ahead of the 24. Look at this car. Smooth, precise, going exactly where he needs it to be. Coming off the corner to our first yellow of the day. Andrew going to lead us back to the line. Jeff Gordummy in second, and Ernest Turbo Walker Claw, P3. Oh, and more trouble!
Oh, getting turned back there, the 44. That's all right. He's off screen now. But Andrew, with his 336th career stage win in his NR offline career, congratulations to him.
Absolutely. He's had a very long career. Most people don't know that because he's not interesting, Mike. Caution. Taking a look at some of the action throughout this first portion of the race. Daddy McBetty into the wall already. Going to get forced up there even more by the 2-car. And you see that on the bottom there. This man has had a tumultuous week, getting yelled at and bullied by Bill Beef for quite a while. Made some pretty inflammatory remarks, though, I must say. Blaming Bill Beef for the death of Bill Landlines. Having, in his own words here, orchestrated that. Pressing the wall, stepping up to the plate, I guess, if that actually turns out to be true. And speaking of things that get turned, this 2-car off turn 4, still side by side with Daddy McBetty. They're going to get hooked to the outside wall here. This was one of at least 3 or 4 times we've seen this already tonight. And this 2-car is going to absolutely wallop these tire barriers you talked about, Mike. Take a look at this. Whoa.
Oh, God, he almost clipped the end of the concrete, too, Kyle. We've seen that happen a lot before at other racetracks, and it always ends up with somebody sitting on the pavement.
No doubt. And with no catch fence here, the catch fence is unemployed. It can't do its job if it's not here, Mike.
Yeah, and we see here the 44 car getting shoved into the outside wall, coming back to the caution almost. That was a very good piece of driving to not completely crash the car as we ride on board the 44 car right here. Or that's the 2 car, my bad. As we get just shoving into the outside and going to get to the end of the wall and not get hooked. Absolute MVP of the race right there by not passing away.
That was a big noise. Here on board the 89 car, taking a look at something else that happened here. Gonna get put into the wall. Here's the Brad Owen part, putting them into the fucking wall. And they just stay hooked up like this the entire time. Luckily, the key difference here, the caution gonna come out when they get to the start-finish line. Able to pull it off that wall before they get back to the tires. Probably saved them both some damage.
And it looked like Brad actually turned the wheels back to the left, unlike the 2 car. So that's something to look at, too.
Potentially the first and only example of Brad Owen being a good example. But another look at things here. He just pushes up off the corner. It's so tough to keep it down on the bottom. And let's just be honest. Some drivers might be capable of that, but Brad Owen is not one of them. And poor Timothy Cigarello, nowhere to go but into the wall. Thankfully for these two, going to have a chance to fix up their cars a little bit. We'll see you after the caution.
And we're getting ready to bring it back to start lap 25. It's going to be 5 laps into our second stage here. The caution laps do count, as they should, because otherwise we'd be here all night if they start crashing too much. But Andrew going to lead him back down as he won the first stage. I'm sure he had a lot of those in his career. Jason brings it back on down the dirty pit road, and they are getting really bent out of shape back there for 5th, wanting to get spots early.
And Ernest clears that 99 car, going to take the lead on the high side. I can't say I saw that coming today. And you see some other people trying to use all that high groove. I think that's the 55 car. It is. Big Luke lifts up in the dirty stuff. See a great shot here. Look how sideways they get off the corners.
That's dirt tracking, Kyle. That's the way you got to do it. You got to get that rear end all yawed out to the outside, and that thing hooks up and it goes.
You know what they say? Dirt's for racing and asphalt's for parking on it. Or something like that. I don't know. That 99 car, though, is a man on a mission. Andrew back to the lead.
Oh, Ernest, come on.
Oh, and he's going to hit that 5 car.
Oh, he's turning the beef.
We've seen this many times, especially with this 5 car. Oh, and they're going to hit
Just
the tires.
stand in it, brother. Stand in it.
Oh, I have to say, though, they did that better. Didn't lose quite as much time as the last pairing we saw do that.
Well, Ernest lost a ton.
Well, that's a good point,
He's back
actually.
there somewhere, isn't he?
Oh, and Bill Beef's in the wall again. This guy, get
All
this
by
guy a
Luke.
map.
Oh, Big Luke.
Packard
About to be a
Peggy.
big old crash.
This is a lot of our contenders for the championship, all kind of in one spot. The 69 car, the 5, the 1 was just in the wall. Can't see anything. I was somewhere nearby. Taking a look at scoring. He's up to 2nd now, though. What a run for him.
LeBron Kitus, he's been pretty quiet here tonight. He's probably just trying to keep his shit saved for his Sunday start in the Cup Series in the 55, but he has a good opportunity to win a race here and finally, I don't think he's ever won a race before, has he, Kyle? So it would be a good opportunity to do that.
That's a great point. He hasn't won a single thing here in TOECAR before. And really, the thing you just mentioned is the reason he's here in the first place. Coming up this week, going to be in that 55 car at Riki Raceway. We all know eventually when those cars start to crash out and the field gets thin, you're going to probably have a pretty long green flag runs we're expecting this weekend. So, theoretically, LeBron Kaitis working on his craft. We are known for long runs here in KYROC. He's getting to experience just that. Only one caution, and that wasn't even for an incident. So,
Yeah, a lot of times a smaller field would be a good training ground for younger drivers or more inexperienced drivers. But I think putting them right in the gauntlet of the Goodies Trash Series is the best opportunity, because what better way to learn just to be throw right into the snake pit? Because then when you come up to something like KYROC, you got about half the field size. It's a breeze. You just get through there. You already know how to carve through half of those cars. You just got to get through the rest of them.
one could argue for safety reasons, though, probably good to get them out here. We have lost a lot of people in trash this season, unfortunately. And hey, Jason, and it would not surprise me if that continues this weekend. Right now, though, these guys lean and green. We see a lot of those cars that converted in be pretty competitive so far. Right now, Brad Oman in 7th, LeBron in 8th, and Ernest is in the wall.
Yeah, Jake Joe just walled him right there. He's going to be very unhappy if he remembers that. Now, Ernest has been reporting dementia symptoms, so he might forget within the next 3 laps. So, good for Jake.
I mean, perks and cons of being somebody with a goldfish memory.
Perk?
Ignorance is bliss, and ignorance comes about every 2 or 3 minutes. Bill Beef in the wall again, and he got put in the wall that time by that 23 car.
That's not good. We see a lot of beef off the track with these two, living up to his name, and he's still on the wall. This guy cannot drive. He's an administrator. Why is he on the racetrack, Kyle?
Well, regardless of him being the commissioner, I think the lights are just a little too bright. This is somebody that's really never been a TOECAR competitor, and now he's in the fight for a championship.
I can cut the power if we need to.
That 65 car very nearly got smushed into the wall. That wall in the backstretch, folks, not completely parallel or even with the track. Actually, oh my goodness. No. Actually had a little bit of an angle. We saw it earlier. Those cars try to climb.
The caveman.
Oh man, we almost did. This 81 car has been an absolute peril since we dropped the green flag, Mike. Feels like he was one of the first cars in the wall. In the wall again there. That car is already killed on the right side. So.
And there was somebody I'm surprised we haven't heard more commotion from tonight, and that's LW Wrong. A dirt track, an unhinged man that beat somebody to death. That's a match made in heaven. I'm surprised he hasn't thrown somebody outside the facility at this point.
And, maybe a sign of things to come. I certainly hope not. I don't know if you guys remember, Andrew's last win, and I'm pretty sure only win, came at South Boston in Season 2 in the Trash Series. You know what else happened that race, Mike? LW Wrong beat the absolute piss out of his crew chief and got arrested. So
that is the only memorable things that happened in South Boston, so.
Yeah, much less memorable than North Boston, where we just were and had the worst race we've ever had at TOECAR. But we're going to move on from that now. Andrew, off turn 4. Going to take, I think, 3 to go in this stage right now. But look at the lead he's built. Over a second. That might not seem like much, but when it's a short track, that's an eternity, especially against people like LW and that 20 car, 2 drivers who should be really prominent at this style of racing.
I'd be worried they'd be burning off a lot of his shit, but it seems like everybody behind him is just slamming into the wall and tearing their entire right side of the car off, so it might even out in the end there with all those things considered. Hey, there's Ernest. He's still up here.
Climbing his way back to the top. What's wrong with this guy, man? In another contact here, and he's putting the 11 in the wall again.
He's about to dump the 11.
And that's his co-conspirator, so to speak, right there, and he's putting him in the wall. This man has absolutely no morals, Mike. He's just doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Doesn't fly flags, doesn't fly... Well, he flies race cars. It's about the only thing he can fly.
Yeah, he tried flying a kite one time, and actually it just went away. Just went up into space. Didn't come back down. It's like the house from Up. Nonetheless.
I thought you were going to say he got struck by lightning and invented time. Or
invented time he did. Off turn 4. Andrew going to lead us to our second caution of the day. So far, no cautions for cause. That's actually pretty remarkable. 40 laps is an eternity here in TOECAR, and we've yet to send anybody to the space station. No big impacts. Wonder how long that's going to last.
I'll give it 11 minutes.
Well, looking at some of the highlights from this here portion of the race, you're going to see the first one here. That 1 car in the wall. The 5 going to put him even more in the wall. And honestly, they both kind of just play themselves up into the wall again here. You're going to see big impact just like the 2 car. Key difference, though, this 2 car is going to, or 5 car, pardon me, going to keep pushing. And if I'm not mistaken, he's going to get in some shit off turn 4. Full moon tonight, by the way.
He was very lucky that those tractor tires have apparently been deflated before the race, because otherwise they would have been bouncing like the balls on Wipeout. But McBetty and Beef back here, they were just rubbing into the outside wall. They have a history, and they're going to go down in the corner, and it's not going to be over, because I'm pretty sure they're going to get together a second time. If not, it's just going to be Bill pounding down the wall by himself, just trying to make a commotion.
And he was saying something on the radio, do it or I'll do it. And I'm not sure exactly what that meant, but that's very ominous to hear in TOECAR. Bill Beef We've seen him fight before. He's not somebody you really want to... Well, I guess he might be somebody you want to mess with. He did actually get beat up by that one guy Ellie picked.
And then right here, McBetty just a little bit too wide off the corner, and that has set off Bill Beef. He's going to go down in the corner. He's going to try to floor it and wall ride it to get back to that 23 car, and it's over.
Well, welcome back to Orange County, where we have breaking news, folks. And that was not just an empty threat on the radio. That 23 car black flagged for actions detrimental to Bill Beef. He's now in 22nd. It is now. He's the commissioner, Mike. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I hate to say it, they're in close proximity still. I'm not sure it's over.
No, if I was Daddy McBetty, I would just go into the first corner and not lift off the gas until that car is outside the racetrack. But that's just my personal opinion and driving style. As we're back green, Andrew leading another lap, but no, can't see anything's going to cross the line first. I think that'll count.
Leader has gotten the high side, or gotten the lead from the high side the last few times. Right now, oh, the 99's going to put him in the wall.
Let's go. We're getting excited. Getting that 99 up the fuck out of here.
And
sorry, Andrew.
That it absolutely did. Andrew getting cycled out. That 20 car in the wall, too. The 99's in the wall again, Mike. And LW wrong.
He's trying...
in the lead.
He's just trying to wall ride it because he's seen everybody else do it and getting success. He's like, shit, I should have done that. Just like Denny in Martinsville.
And thanks to those caution laps, we're really in the end game here, folks. 15 to go. It might not seem like it's that short of a time, but with 30-second lap times, that's more or less 7 minutes of racing. 7 minutes to find yourself in the top 10, get points, and for some of these drivers, keep yourself in good position to get to that finale with a chance at winning the championship. This 96 car needs a chance at making the corner. God damn, this guy can't stay out of the fucking wall.
Nope, and Kyle, 7 minutes, that's less time it takes to make mac and cheese. No hockey left at this point. Man, everybody's riding down the wall. You would think that either it rained or... Yeah,
I was saying the exact same thing, honestly. We talked about... Oh, my God. You see how loose they get on the bottom there? The tires...
It looked like the caution was out. They were almost stopped right there. It was all so loose.
The tires heat up so badly on these cars. That's why we threw the cautions after 20-lap runs. That's why you're seeing so much struggle right now. These drivers didn't pit, Mike. We talked about how they might not elect to go get tires, how important track position is. All these guys decided to suffer instead of ruining any track position they might have had. And now everybody's suffering, including us. Oh, my God. The 55 car got doored the hell. Gonna hang on to it somehow.
Now, the drivers, they did have the option before this race to run steel wheels like a train. Oh, to reduce the heat. Look at all this. This is ridiculous. Bill, or not Bill, Big Beef lifts.
Yup. The beef. It's for dinner.
The loser in the wall.
Man, these guys, it really is a full moon tonight. Take a look up in the sky when we get to the backstretch next time.
That don't mean nothing, Kyle. That just means it's shining on the other side of the rock.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
These guys are all over each other. They're 3-4 wide all over this pack. Bill Beef and Denny McBetty are still side by side. I can't believe it.
They are pitching these things 46 degrees sideways and still hanging on to them. That is impressive. They know how much these points matter. They would kill their mother for it.
Oh!
This!
Oh my God! What was that? It was Neil Anderthal. I think he's
back
okay.
in the dirt where he belongs.
Oh no, he's not. That car's smoking, hitting the dork bar. That thing's killed. I can't believe Denny McBetty missed him. He just flipped over a motherfucker, Mike.
That's going to be a hell of an onboard. Well, let's see some of the things that happened in that green flag run, because it was getting pretty bad. You see, Neil Anderthal gets pinched with Pekar Petty. Those two are going to get hooked on the wall, but then check out in the back there. Who's going to be the first one? Nope, that was the only one for that lap. We're going to take another look right there. Just the 69 pinched in the outside, and Neil, he is not going to give up that fight. He's just going to keep on shoving them until one of them gives. And eventually, someone's going to have to give here. And it looks like they're eventually... Oh, yeah, it's the 81. Popped up on two wheels, starts rolling in the dirt. And look at McBetty underneath them. No contact. The 81 gets some good contact with the fence there. Crushes the left side or the right side of the roof down. Luckily not the left side like Taylor Ham, though.
And look at this view. Oh, my goodness. Whoa!
Yo!
How did he miss him? How did the 55 miss him? This is just like Bristol. And it's the same cars. This 81 car flipped just like this at Bristol. Think back to that race. Tumbled into turn 3 just like he's going to here. The only story that's different, the 23 car plowed the shit out of him at Bristol. Look at this. Whoa! It doesn't get closer than that.
He learned from that back at Bristol. He knows how to duck now.
Quack. And we're going to see yet another replay. This from the 23 car. This is going to be the scariest thing we've ever seen, I think.
Oh, I just pulled a muscle in my neck trying to do that.
I don't know how he did that. That was incredible. Great piece of driving. And we're back at Orange County. Coming to, I think, about 5 or 6 to go here. Yep, exactly that, actually. 5 at the line. LW wrong, still your leader. Can't see anything. P2. LeBronchitis, P3. Chris Cross, P4. We haven't talked about Chris Cross today. What a run for that 62. And Andrew, dominant car of the day, in P5. We're back underway.
Yeah, all of our quiet guys, they are working their way up to the front when it counts right here. LeBronchitis, the 62
Oh!
no! They're all right.
Somehow, yeah, they are.
They're going to go rocketing down right here. Check on the outside. He got the 50 LW wrong. He's going to get into contact with LeBronchitis. These two are going to be drag racing down in the first corner.
And that high side seems to have the advantage into the corner. On corner exit, it really depends on how hard that car on the outside hits the wall. Oh, the 50 gets pinched. He is looking. They're 3 and 4 wide down the back. You see it there. Can't see anything. Looking underneath that 50 car for P2. LW might get the wall. They're both going to get the wall.
As they come off the corner, we need to wipe down this lens, but they're going to be taking 3 laps to go right here. McBetty's still in the back of the field. He's lucky to be alive, though.
And corner exits have become absolute disasters for these cars. The 89 gets hit. They're going to hang on to it here. But you see visibly how much higher up the track they were than when we started. Just look at this, folks. Nobody even in the real groove right now. That just shows you how much these tires are melting. The 89 car just had to drift off 2 consecutive corner exits.
As they're going to be coming back around for the white flag already. LeBronchitis leading the race. Oh, and there's contact for second, but can't see anything. And Chris Cross. Cross is going to get moved back to 4th now. Oh, he's fighting back for 3rd already. Didn't choke him up too much. But LeBron takes the white right here.
I think he's furious, Mike. That 62 car up front. Chris Cross never... Oh, he's in the wall.
Oh, he's getting turned.
Well, we'll figure that out later. He's in the wall still right now, jeez. LeBronchitis, though, a huge advantage on can't see anything. That's a big gap to overcome. Can LeBron keep it out of the wall? Somebody that's been here in TOECAR for quite a while. Nothing to show for it. Was in the Cup race a few weeks ago. Is in a race this week for the 55. But more importantly, he's in victory lane tonight. LeBronchitis, your winner here at Orange County Fair Speedway.
I'll take a Sprite cranberry after that one.
Hell yeah, dude. Our sunshine in victory lane. Oh, wait, it's a night race. We got to turn them off for that. I can't say that. Let's look at a replay. Well, here's that first replay I was just hyping up about 0.5 seconds ago. Underneath that 50 car of LW wrong. LW had hit the wall there, but he got the momentum off the corner nonetheless. Seeing off turn 2 here. I think he's going to get pinched into the wall a little. Yup. Oh, and contact from that 20 car to the inside. It was like the 2009 All-Star race, Mike.
Yeah, the only difference is here is the Jeff Gordon flash drive didn't get plugged into the outside wall. But we right on board here with Can't See Anything. He's going to try to wedge underneath LeBronchitis and take advantage of their little battle on the outside, but then he just gets in the left rear there, and that gets him all checked up. And they go sailing off like he was never even a part of it.
And this is what happened on that last lap to the 62. This is a heartbreaker. Chris Cross was having such a good day. We saw this time and time again. He gets hooked up with that 50. Both of these guys actually losing a ton of track position late. An absolute backbreaker for those teams. And the 62 going to hit the wall again. And the 4 car's up in the wall ahead of these guys, too. That 1 car losing a ton of time.
The one we saw right there in turns 1 and 2, they actually got unhooked quicker than anybody else tonight, it seems. So they knew how to get it undone when it counted the most because they knew they were going to be hemorrhaging spots if they didn't.
Bill Beef got 1 more victim today, putting that 4 car in the wall. But he probably deserved it, admittedly.
Beaten after the line.
Well, it's about time we take a look at our results on the day. LeBronchitis, we talked about him not winning anything. Finds his way to victory lane here today. A great result for that 6 team. Wasn't even planning on being in the race today. LeBronchitis, your winner. Can't see anything going to come home second in that 20 car. Going to extend his point lead, at least by a little bit. Andrew, you got to think he's devastated in 3rd, Mike, but a great result nonetheless. Pekar Petty 4th, and Bill Beef runs out our top 5.
Yeah, very surprised Bill Beef was able to pull off a top 5 with all that, but honestly, I'm not, because when you can just give out a penalty to any driver that disrupts your race, that's, wow. We got to really check that rule book and read between the lines. But congratulations to Bill Beef on the top 5. Buster Guts brings it home with a 6th place finish. I know he's got to be ripping his hair out after that because he got caught up in the outside wall and lost a bunch of spots coming to the line there. So bad run there at the end for him. Preston DeWalt, 7th. Ernest Herbert Walker Clot, he ended up bringing it back in 8th place. Not too bad for forgetting where he was. Timothy Cigarello, our Cup trainee for Dick Shitfart, brings it home in 9th. And then Chris Cross, how about that? 10th place here today.
Absolutely. One of the only times, if not the only time, that 62 car's found its way into the points. A great job by Chris Cross, who, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've seen Chris Cross at all in like 2 or 3 seasons. So, don't know where this guy's been, don't know what he's been up to, but clearly he's been working on his craft. and then a couple heartbreakers at the bottom. A couple people that could have been okay on points today if things went a little differently. Daddy McBetty, Corey Origami, Neil Anderthal, who took that terrifying hit, or flip, I should say. That car never got back out on track. Also, if you take a look at the bottom there, Corey Origami, one of the other cars to barely graze that 81 car. I'm told the damage to that car was terminal afterwards, even though it wasn't smoking. So that car pulled off for the day. So some very, very disappointed drivers there. Glucose Maxing, another day of being anonymous. Chris the Catheter Keen, by the way, had a really, really good shot at being a championship contender. Going to have to settle for 18th, 0 points on the day. That wouldn't usually be too bad. But you take a look up there, you have Pekar Petty, can't see anything, getting a ton of points. Bill Beef, even Ernest was in the points. So going to be a huge detriment to that team for sure.
And as unexciting as it may seem at the time, we got to give a shout out to Andrew. 29 laps led on the night. Most of any driver. The second place in that was Jeff Gordon with 10 laps. So that 99 car definitely had a lot of speed here tonight. But when things get down to crunch time and the hockey starts running out, the pressure's on and people start passing you left and right. But still, an extra point for the 99 car, and that's going to help mount the points.
No kidding, Mike. A lot of hockey left sometimes. Other times you puck yourself. You never really know exactly which way it's going to go. But what I do know is that our points are calculated. And if you take a look at your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, can't see anything. Our point leader, not a single win. This man has never been to victory lane yet in the series that's designed for winners. He's never won a thing. That hasn't stopped him, though, from being the point leader. Right now, 12 points on Peck R. Petty. Then we have Bill Beef in third, Ernest Herbert Walker Clot in fourth. And that, my friends, is where the cut line is. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all four of these drivers compete for a championship, while everybody else in the field competes for a win. It's going to come all down to this. Everybody else you see fifth on down, I should say, pardon me, Chris the Catheter on back. They might be able to gain a few spots in points. And honestly, if you could win the race, you pretty much guarantee that you'll be returning the KYROC, given it's a Series 4 winners. But right now, these guys really racing for their careers, honestly. There's really no backup plan if you fall out of KYROC. That's just kind of it. You have to hope for Plat 55, and with there only being one Plat 55 car left next season, you got to think it's slim pickings. You better hope you find a way into a series, Mike.
Absolutely. Less spots than ever before for a lot of our old timers. We're trying to get some new people in, and with all the people passing away and trying to bring more of them people back with our new contract we have down in hell, it's going to be a very tough. It's going to be a very tough fight to get back into TOECAR if you fall out of it. So all these guys, even more pressure than before if it wasn't enough before. If it wasn't a lot before, it's going to be backbreaking now.
Well, speaking of hell, we sent the king there home, young stroker to body snatcher, back in his throne, back in the underworld. And unfortunately for him, going to have to manage all the dumb people we send there here at TOECAR. I'm sure we're going to send somebody there this week. Haven't sent anybody there today, but we have 3 more shots at it. I hope it doesn't happen. Later tonight, we go to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the finale of the KYROC Series, race number 6 of 6. It's today. You don't have to wait that long. It's only in, let's take a look at the time here, about like 3 hours or so. You'll get there. You'll be fine. And you'll watch it too. Or else. And then tomorrow, we have the Trash Series. It's going to be a Riki Raceway for the finale there. Who's going to win the championship in the high five? Who's going to find their way into the Cup Series? Who's going to stick around in Trash? And who's going to have to hope for some fan votes? It ends on Friday. We end absolutely everything. Nearly said Sunday there. We have the Splint Cup Series finale, race number 12. All the same context as the Trash race. Twice the amount of skill. Half the amount of opportunity. We're going to see some desperate drivers make some desperate decisions, Mike.
It's going to be a hell of a weekend, Kyle. TOECAR's wrapping up for the season, and it's time to take your head off your shoulders and throw it down the toilet.
Well, I'm going to get started on that, folks. 3-hour intermission. We have a flight to catch, Mike. We got to get there as soon as possible. Folks, we'll see you in a few hours. Enjoy qualifying. Deuces.